On a crisp autumn morning, the sun caressed the old brick walls of St. Gabriel's Cathedral as guests began gathering for what was meant to be the wedding of the year. Flowers and ivory and blush lined the stone pathway, and laughter filled the cool air. Friends greeting friends, cousins adjusting boutonnieres, grandmothers fussing over hats and shawls, all buzzing with excitement for the union of Eliza Monroe and Ethan Caldwell. Eliza stood behind a heavy oak door inside the cathedral's bridal suite, taking in a breath of trembling anticipation. Her gown, an heirloom passed down through generations, draped around her like silk-soft clouds. Her heart fluttered with memories, the first time Ethan had held her hand, the laughter they shared over late-night coffee, the quiet promises whispered in the wee hours of dawn. Nothing could have prepared her for the whirlwind waiting just beyond the stained glass windows. Her bridesmaid, Grace, smiled reassuringly as she smoothed Eliza's veil. "You look radiant," she said, though her eyes betrayed a flicker of unease. But Eliza pushed it aside. Today was her day, her dream brought to life. Down at the altar, Ethan couldn't keep his gaze still. Every few seconds, he ran a hand through his hair or shifted his feet. His mother, Margaret Caldwell, stood at his side, stoic and composed as always. Margaret had been a figure of admiration, respected in the community for her elegance and poise. She had walked graciously through every planning decision, every seating arrangement, every menu tweak. Today, she was the picture of grace, but hidden deep within those eyes was something far darker. The organ began to play, and all heads turned as the wedding procession entered. Eliza's father escorted her down the aisle, their eyes shining with emotion. Ethan's breath caught as her gaze met his. In that moment, all the noise in the world faded. It was just the two of them. When they stood before the officiant, the hush settled like a velvet curtain. Soft murmurs of admiration rippled through the guests. Eliza's warm brown eyes sparkled. Ethan's hands trembled only slightly. The congregation breathed as one, ready for vows, ready for joy. But then, Margaret stood. A hush, heavier than silence, descended. Margaret's voice, normally calm and measured, trembled with something else. Anger, betrayal, something ancient. She cleared her throat and said a few words that jolted everyone like an unexpected thunderclap. Whispers spread, then grew loud. Margaret pointed a trembling finger at Eliza and spoke of a secret, a long-buried past, something Eliza had never confessed. Gasps echoed. Some guests covered their mouths in shock. Others leaned forward, unbelieving. Ethan's face turned ashen. Eliza's breath hitched. She stepped back instinctively, fear wrapping cold fingers around her heart. Margaret lamented heartbreaks from 10 years ago, accusations stacking upon each other like rain-soaked bricks. Eliza's secret was more than gossip. It was a tear in the world they had built. A past encounter with Ethan's late father, Margaret claimed, had tainted everything. No one present had known, or at least that's what Eliza had hoped. Eliza's voice was small at first, nearly drowned by the stunned silence. But as Ethan's devastated eyes remained fixed on Eliza, something in Eliza snapped, not in fear, but in courage. She spoke the truth. Yes, the past had shadows. Yes, mistakes had been made, but her love for Ethan was real and unwavering. Her voice grew steadier with each sentence. She confessed her history, not as a weapon to use, but as a burden she no longer wished to hide. Ethan staggered back, stunned by the revelation. His mother's face contorted with rage and grief, a pain rooted not only in betrayal, but in decades of secrets and fractured trust. The guests watched, transfixed, as the sacred moment melted into something unrecognizable. "But I love him," Eliza said, her voice echoing across the silent cathedral. For a heartbeat, Nothing moved. Then Ethan stepped toward Eliza, hesitation in his gaze, but compassion too. The crowd whispered. Some wept quietly, others stared with disbelief. Ethan's mother trembled and looked away, her anguish too raw to witness. Ethan reached for Eliza's hand. He didn't know what the future held. He didn't know how to forgive fully, not yet. But in that fragile moment, he chose to stand beside her. The weight of his mother's betrayal and his own heartbreak was heavy, but he refused to let it crush them both. The officiant, eyes glistening with tears, spoke softly. Marriage is not only a union of hearts, but of truths. Only through truth can love endure. Some cried, others held their partners a little closer, and though the wedding had shifted into something painfully profound, it became clear that love, real love, was never about perfection. It was about endurance, forgiveness, and courage. Ethan and Eliza left the cathedral hand in hand, not as a fairy tale couple untouched by adversity, but as partners forged in honesty and facing the uncertain dawn together. And in the silent hush behind them, a mother cried, for regrets, for forgiveness, for the hope that even broken hearts can someday find peace.